UFC 295 takes place this Saturday, and in the co-main event, we have an absolute banger on our hands with Sergei Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall, and this fight actually takes place for the interim heavyweight title. Look, in my opinion, this is a very interesting and hard matchup to predict because of the arguments you can make on either side. Originally, I was on the Tom Aspinall side, but I flipped to the Sergei Pavlovich fight after doing a little bit more film research, looking into some other factors, and I'll give you my reasoning why in just one moment. Another thing that I do want to note before I break down this matchup is that if you predict the winner, you're probably going to look very smart, and if you predict the loser, you're going to look very dumb, and that's what is so much fun about this matchup because it is going to likely get finished very, very early. On the Aspinall side, he's very quick and powerful hands. He's good at getting in and out of striking range very quickly. He circles the octagon very well, has very good leg kicks, and a good front kick to the body as well. All of these are factors that could make it very hard for Sergei Pavlovich to walk him down and find the angle for the KO. But I do want to note, I don't think Aspinall is going to want this fight to take place on the feet simply because Pavlovich has a massive reach advantage, and in order for Tom Aspinall to even clip a guy like Sergei Pavlovich, he would have to close a lot of distance and be super aggressive and really put himself in harm's way. And I think grappling is probably the safest and the smartest approach in the way that I would predict him to win. Originally, I was on the Aspinall side, like I said. Now I'm on the Pavlovich side. I will get to that in just a second. But I was going to be predicting Aspinall simply based off the fact that he has very quick takedown entries, and he's good at timing them within striking exchanges, as we saw in the Volkov fight. Now, I think Pavlovich has much better takedown defense than Alexander Volkov. But something to note is Sergei Pavlovich was taken down in his UFC debut and KO'd on the ground in the first round by Alistair Overeem, and it was by a trip. So, Tom Aspinall, he went for the trip against Alexander Volkov in the first round. In his first takedown, I'm not sure how the second takedown was. I believe the second takedown was just a double leg up against the cage. But moving back to Tom Aspinall on the ground, he has great submissions. He's very dangerous on the ground. If I'm picking Tom Aspinall, I'm picking him round one submission. I could also see the TKO side. If I'm giving Aspinall a game plan, I'm telling him whenever this is on the feet, circle like a madman. Target the legs of Pavlovich and throw that front kick to the body, but don't really engage in the hands. And when you throw that front kick to the body, make sure you're at range because this guy has an insane reach. He can clip you when he's back in Russia. I guess he lives in Florida. It doesn't matter if he's in Uzbekistan. This guy can clip you from anywhere because of how big his reach is, and that's like his superpower. He can clip you from so far away, and then you're stunned, and once you're stunned, you're kind of fucked. That's the reality of it. So circle like a madman, throw a lot of kicks to the legs, throw a lot of kicks to the body, do whatever you can to not give this guy an angle up against the cage because that is how he wins this fight. Now, when it comes to the takedowns, I don't think the double legs are going to work as well as the single legs and the trips. We've seen the trips be successful in his debut for Alistair Overeem because Alistair Overeem was able to take him down with the trip and then TKO him in the first round, as I previously mentioned. Now, I will mention, he stuffed the first trip from Alistair Overeem, right? He's got pretty decent takedown defense, in my opinion. It's being overrated. And the Alistair Overeem fight was 5 years ago. I guarantee you it's improved. Pavlovich has now trained with Khabib, and he's training at American Top Team, which doesn't have the greatest heavyweights, but he's trained with some good heavyweights before, if I'm not mistaken. I think he trained with Volkov and Shamil Abdurakhimov. I did not say that correctly. But anyways, he trains at Top Team now, and there's good fighters there, and I guarantee you there's good coaches there as well that have been actively working on improving his takedown defense. His trip defense already looked pretty solid, and when he got taken down against Overeem, I do want to mention, he threw a knee to the body, and then as soon as it landed, that's when Overeem went for the trip, and that's why it was successful in my opinion. But when he stuffed the first trip, I mean, he looked pretty good, man. Weight distributed was good. I think he had a whizzer on the far side. I don't know if it's whizzer or whizza. We're going to say whizza, actually, because I don't want to use hard R's. That can't offend people. Anyways, Tom Aspinall, the single leg. The reason why I think the single leg will work is because of the way his weight is distributed and because he also looks very stiff and slow in certain areas. And I just look at Sergei Pavlovich. I watched the film on this guy, and I'm pretty damn confident he can't really manipulate his hips, can't turn his hips very quickly. And if you get in on the single leg and turn the corner and drive, I'm pretty confident you'll get that. That's my most confident form of a takedown for you. The trips, like I said, he does have pretty good balance. But if you kind of are able to sweep him off balance, that could really give you a lot of success just because he could topple over like a fucking tower, dude. I'm telling you, he's so top heavy. But the double legs, I'm telling you, just if he sprawls, he puts his legs back, he can just fall on top of you, and your chin will hit the canvas, and you will get knocked out because of how fucking heavy this guy is on top. I'm joking a little bit there, but, I mean, it could happen, eh? I'm not gonna lie, it could fucking happen. This guy is fucking big on top. And his legs aren't chicken legs. A lot of people are saying they're chicken legs. I mean, I've gone on Instagram, I've seen a picture of him in a Speedo. He's got some legs, man. He's pretty attractive as well, but, yeah. So let's get into why I think Sergei Pavlovich will win this. Oh, and also I do want to say with the Aspinall game plan, yeah, once you're on the ground, you know what to do. It's just about getting it to the ground. And when you shoot the double leg, if you shoot the double leg and don't get it, initiate the clench, go for the trips. If you don't get for the trips, circle, 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 and just keep trying. Keep exploding. Try to find that time to explode, but I don't think you will be able to, because I am now going to talk about Sergei Pavlovich. And here's the thing. I don't see enough people talking about this. Not only does Sergei Pavlovich have power, and not only is he massive, he fights. And when he throws punches, he is extremely square to his opponent. He rarely overextends. Even when he throws his super powerful uppercut, it only goes up to about here. We don't see him overextending, doing the Mighty Mouse pose. He never does that. He is super square to his opponent at all times, which is why he will be so good at defending double legs. Now, like I said, his hips probably don't turn all that fucking quick. He's probably not all that flexible, and single legs will be the approach if you want to beat him. But he probably doesn't know that. I don't know. Even if you do shoot a single leg, I could still see him stuffing it, because this guy is trained with good wrestlers. He is trained with good competition. And when he's fought Abdurrahim Afshamil, I don't fucking know his last name. Fuck. Anyways, who had a takedown threat. Like, he fought pretty damn well. He was a little bit more patient, but he found that knockout. And look, Pavlovich isn't afraid to stand and bang. And I do also want to mention something interesting, is on the regional scene, he went 5 rounds. Was it a super high-paced fight? No. But I think he's got at least 2 rounds of cardio. I'm predicting him by round 1 KO, because I think that's just how it's going to go. I think he's going to throw a couple strikes. Aspinall's immediately going to shoot in on a double leg. He's going to be able to stuff the double leg. And then from there, he's going to kind of initiate the clinch a little bit and then separate. But he's going to give him a good angle up against the fence. And somewhere around the 2 to 3 minute mark, I see him clipping Aspinall up against the cage. Aspinall might shoot in on another takedown. He'll stuff it, get Aspinall against the cage. Disengage from the clinch, and then he'll eventually find the knockout in the first round. Here's the thing. He's also got a fantastic chin. Aspinall's probably not going to clip him. Aspinall's also kind of small. He does look a little bit chinny, and just the way that his chin is positioned, it's kind of just fucking protrudes, so it'll make that very hard for Aspinall to kind of tuck his chin, if that makes sense. He's also just such a madman. The reach, like I said, it doesn't even have to be a full power shot. Now, let's see a lot of people saying his power is overrated. I don't think it's on the level of Francis Ngannou personally, but we will never really know, because when we see Ngannou throwing a strike, he throws a left hook, and now he's looking at the other side of the octagon because he uses his whole body into it, whereas Sergei Pavlovich doesn't really turn his body all that much. He's so fucking square. It's insane how he generates so much fucking power. It's so crazy to me. He's got very, very quick hands as well, as you've probably seen in multiple videos on his Instagram. Super quick hands, super powerful, and good chin. What else? What else is there to name? Wrestling, like, he's trained with good wrestlers. I think I mentioned this earlier in the video. He trained at AKA for a little bit. Trained with Islam Khabib, if you don't know what AKA is. And then top team, like I said, I guarantee you, he's gotten some good looks at wrestling there. Like, just off the top of my head, I think Michael Chandler trains or trained there. There's a lot of fighters that trained at Florida. Colby Covington did back in the day. I think Colby Covington had a video, or not a video, but a picture with Sergei Pavlovich. And I understand these are smaller guys, but they will teach him good things about wrestling. And Tom Aspinall's camp is not something that I believe in at all, because I think the best heavyweight that he has there, that he's really training with, is Mick Parkin, who's just a fat slob, and I don't think he's getting all that many good looks. He did train with Tyson Fury, fair enough, but apparently Tyson Fury's ass, and I'm not going to get into that whole thing, whatever. And then we're also going to mention he trained with Rico Verhoeven, who is a kickboxing champion right now at Glory Kickboxing. He recently had a fight yesterday, it is, at the time that I'm filming this. Same day as the Sal Pello card. He came off a unanimous victory, and that is a very good sparring opponent, but I don't think it was one of these things where Rico Verhoeven was training with him his whole camp. It was like Rico Verhoeven was just getting a new body for sparring training camp. Probably was like less than a week thing. Pavlovich is a fucking killer. He's got these athletic traits. He's from Russia. I guarantee you he has some wrestling. And every time he got taken down, which was once actually, to be fair, he showed to me that he knew what he was doing. Rewatch the Alistair Overeem fight and tell me this guy is a Darren Till. Rewatch all these things. And we haven't really seen Aspinall. Here's the thing about the heavyweight division. I've been saying this time and time again. This is why I would have picked Jailton Almeida versus Curtis Blades going into it before, what was it? Before Jailton Almeida just had that weird performance against Derek Lewis yesterday. Oh, fuck, I hope I forget that. I'm kind of glad that I didn't forgot it there for a second. Before that, I was going to be picking Curtis Blades over Jailton Almeida. Before that, I was picking Pavlovich, picking Aspinall over him, because when you're a grappler or a heavyweight, and I understand, same thing with striking as well, you don't really face any good competition until you reach the top 5. The first person that can stuff a takedown is Curtis Blaydes, and he's the 5th ranked opponent in the heavyweight division. Heavyweight is a joke. When it comes to striking, you have Derek Lewis's, you have the Tai Tuivasas, even Volkov's, in the top 10 that are interesting matchups, I will say that much. But when you're a grappler and you have the opportunity to grapple, it's an absolute joke. It's an absolute free top 6 entry, and then you probably will get a win over Cyril Gane because he's an absolute joke as well. I'll stop ranting about that. I think this is for the real vacant heavyweight title. Let me make this fucking clear as day, because I don't even view Stipe Miocic and John Jones as a part of the division right now, because they're going to retire after the next fight. This is the real heavyweight champ right now. Please just view this as the real championship vacant heavyweight belt, because it is. Pavlovich, like I said, super square. When he fucking throws strikes, rewatch the film. He gets touched, he does. But Tom Aspinall also gets touched by Tybura, by Andrei Arlovski. He got touched by Volkov, and it wasn't like full power shots from them. But they're not really full power shots from Sergei Pavlovich that are landing. They're fucking jabs. They're kind of these weird hooks that are tight, but they're just not like he's not putting his body into these. And they're just touching opponents. They're stunning them. And once you're stunned, it's just that little bit of just like worry, what do I do? He will capitalize every single time because of how quick his hands are and how fucking great his flurries are. He's a very fantastic finisher, and that's why I see him getting this done. I could be absolutely looking like an idiot in a week time. I'm completely aware with that, and I'm okay with that, but Pavlovich is the guy I'm going to go with. If you don't think he's improved his takedown defense within 5 years of training and training at good camps, that's not a good bet in my opinion. And to be fair, we haven't really seen Aspinall's takedown defense even be proven. Because he took down Volkov, okay? Really? In the second takedown, watch the second takedown Aspinall had on Volkov. Volkov gives it to him, man. He literally puts his legs together. It was some weird shit. Anyways, Aspinall hasn't been tested with his grappling. Pavlovich, his counter grappling hasn't really been tested since fighting over him. And even then, it didn't look as bad as people are going to tell you it did. It really didn't. If he hits the mat, he's probably fucked. But maybe this just turns out to Almeida versus Lewis again. I hope it doesn't. Please just be a first-round finish. Please, for fuck's sake. But single leg, we'll probably get him down trips. I think he will defend. And a double leg, I'm a little bit more confident that he'll defend that. I'm saying Sergei Pavlovich probably like a 53% chance of winning this. I like his gym. I don't like Aspinall's gym. I like that he's in his prime. Aspinall's a little bit young. He's inexperienced. Aspinall's best win is against Volkov, and Pavlovich has been fighting Curtis Blaydes. He's been fighting people that he has had a takedown threat from. Aspinall hasn't really fought this super powerful guy in the feet yet. This is a whole different style for him. And Sergei Pavlovich has fought these guys that can take him down and fuck him up. Shamil had that threat. Curtis Blaydes had that threat. He just throws his punches so square. I'm telling you, please rewatch the film. This is the main reason why I'm picking Pavlovich. Fun fucking fight. Let's fucking go, boys. This is a nice one. I'm hyped as fuck. I guess that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. This is going to be a very fun week. The co-main and main event of 295 are otherworldly. I am so damn fucking excited for this. I'm trying to think of anything else that I have to say here, but honestly, I think I mentioned everything I want to mention. If there isn't something I mentioned, it'll probably be down in the comments. As always, guys, have a good one, and I'm out.